Hello, everybody. This is Rita Casey, and welcome to our monthly webinar from the Core Training. I'm so excited today to be teaching you how to jump into the luxury market and learning the critical steps. So welcome, everybody. I'd love to say a shout out to all my Core students that are joining us today, and also our awesome Core lenders. Many of you are hosting Lunch and Learns, so thank you for joining us. And for you first-time attendees, we're very excited. Couple of house rules, everybody. These webinars are 30 minutes, and today it is jam-packed, okay? Make sure you print out. There's one handout, but on it are some links to the video and also to Steve Kerr's online presentation that we'll be sharing with you so you can spend time with it later in order to create your own. We also have a Q&A box on your panel. So you can ask a question. I may not get to it during the webinar because there's so much material, but I will get all of them answered. So please feel free to ask questions. So today I'm going to talk to you about getting out of your comfort zone. That's how it starts in getting into the luxury market. And I too am getting out of my comfort zone today. I'm excited because in the presentation we're going to be showing a luxury video along with sharing Steve Kerr's on-site presentation. So hopefully this will go smoothly, but this is the way we move forward, everybody. It's not about perfection, but it's about stepping out and making progress. So just make sure you're ready, get your materials, and here we go. So first of all, we got to talk about why do you get into the luxury market? Well, everybody, if you want to double your sales price, you got to get out of the comfort zone, because what does it do for you? It allows you to double and triple your income. It is a place where you want to be in a position to close a large transaction, whether it starts out once a quarter or a couple of times a year and eventually once a month. We have to have a range of prices in our portfolio so that given any market, we are always able to have closings. Now, if whatever price range you're in, let's think about it. Think about doubling it. Thinking about tripling it, because we want you to start having double-digit commissions, anything from 10 to 25,000, 30 to 60,000. I'll tell you, as a single agent, my biggest commission was 150,000. I think I took like 20 copies on the Xerox machine. It was exciting. The people were great, and I kept learning so much as I worked my way through that market. And our team that originally set up the Stockworth Realty Group, they're going to have the largest sale coming up in 2019. So Julie Bettesini is now the team leader. She and I together started Stockworth Realty Group. I'm going to share one of our luxury videos later, but we're looking at possibilities, folks, that there'll be an $18 million closing. And what can I tell you? I never set out thinking about closing price ranges like that. Listen, I thought closing 20 million meant I had arrived, all right? So think big. You can do it, but you got to put yourself in a position to do that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All right, so let's talk about being professional. Okay, what does that mean? Think about the fact that these sellers are now, be it buyers or sellers, are calling you to handle their largest investment most of the time. So you have to look the part. And what does that mean? It means that you've got to, don't be thinking of yourself as the trendy person or going too far in a fashion zone. You need to be the person that they can introduce anytime they're out. I know sometimes agents like to think, well, I'm going to dress casual because my big client here is dressing casual or he's an athlete. You can't go there. You're not them. You're the one they need to trust. So as you build that trust, you need to look good. In Florida, it's really hot. So gentlemen, you got to wear, some nice slacks and a button-down shirt. It's too hot for a tie and a coat, obviously, here in the summer. Great shoes, always polished, always looking good. Maybe invest in a really nice belt that you will have. And ladies, I would say sometimes you got to look a little more conservative. You can't be showing up the other females that you're taking out. You want to be the one that is looking like the person they need to trust. So clean and classic, you can never go wrong with. Having, you know, maybe just a nice piece of jewelry or something that you're always looking good, folks. And you got to take care of your cars and making sure they're clean. You don't have to have the highest end car that's out there right now, but your car has to look sharp and tight because, again, first impressions, them introducing you, they need to be proud to do that. So I want you to think about how you look. And gentlemen, I will say clean shaven is the way to go. You've got to, again, look that part. So if you're thinking about making that step, make sure you have all that you can going forward and that you have all the possibilities of getting that transaction. Also, we have to have an up-to-date consultation, be it a buyer or seller. You want to make sure that you are tech savvy, that you have a way to present who you are and why they should hire you. So today, I'm going to share with you Steve Cares. And the reason I'm doing that is Steve Cares is one of our coaches, awesome student, always did his homework. He developed a very high-end business, lakefront, but not only that, started working a lot of physicians. We shared that relocation concept with him. He's done an amazing job with that. And Steve has his online brochure, so I'd like to share that with you. Okay, here we go. Now, you can use this company. There's also a company called Issuu, ISSUU, where you can load brochures. Steve's used this particular format for his listing presentation. So here you go, a note from Steve, and it also talks about his experience on the right-hand side. If you do not have years of experience and you're new, use your company stats to post at this part. Okay, why choose the CARE group? So he talks about it, his focus, professionalism, service, and innovation. So this is a great way to send a listing presentation, especially if you have an out-of-town seller. We've got by the numbers, and you're going to get a link so you can study these pages more in depth that talks about his years of experience, how many transactions. So again, you can always find information that you can fill in on this part. And he has he talks about experience because he has a lot. He also lives on the lake and he works that group. And he's going to continue talking. Again, and the photos on here are very nice. We're going to talk about that in a minute. They're very clear and high resolution. Big point right here. He is using testimonials. And so I would encourage you on your surveys when you're closing transactions to get testimonials from people, even if it's a few sentences, ask questions to stimulate that. And as you can see, you can use those for a lot of reasons later. All right. So Steve Cares' presentation will be coming to you, a link so that you can study it. All right. Now, another important part is you've got to be able to have that very hard conversation, even with sellers of high-end properties. Is their property looking marketable? You know, many times houses that are on the market and don't sell, there's a reason. So we gave you a before and after, and staging is a huge part of it. We used it quite a bit in the luxury market. You see on the left, the heavy dark curtains. They're also taking the photo. It's a little overcast. Just by going to the right-hand side and adding furniture that's more in the trend today, that sort of neutral, transitional, and the brighter exterior, what a difference that made. Julie and I had a lakefront property that had been on the market and did not sell. And it was a Mediterranean home on the waterfront, but it was like a fourth home for these folks. So it had just like some Tommy Bahama, so it didn't really show the house well. So we immediately got it completely staged, rechanged the look, did photos at night. We're taking photos. And we all talked to an agent who had a buyer and said, you should come see this house. It looks completely different. They come over. We actually sold it the next day. Staging makes a huge difference. Find somebody in your area who does a great job staging. I don't encourage you to invest and do it yourself. It takes time away from you in prospecting and servicing your clients. Find somebody you can partner with and recommend staging to your clients, because that, ladies and gentlemen, can make a big difference. All right. Continuing on into the luxury market. Huge point. High resolution professional photos. This is a time when you need to hire somebody. And I will tell you too that not every house can be captured beautifully. So those homes may lend really well to night photos. This particular home on your screen right now is lovely, but notice the clarity of it. So this is a time when you have to invest. It's one of the most important things, because all the marketing that you do, if you do a brochure, if you do a postcard, it's all going to revolve around the picture. The other thing I will tell you about luxury marketing is less is more. Don't put a lot of verbiage, don't put a lot of banners, don't make it busy. Let the property itself speak for itself, okay? So clear, clean, high-resolution photos are going to make a difference. And also even using drones and having those and doing some high above, you know, if you have a lakefront, showing some of the lake will be very important in marketing your high-end properties. Okay, next, if we're going to put ourselves in a position to sell luxury homes, it's like, well, where do we start? There's several ways to start finding these opportunities. One is going to be for you to adopt a luxury neighborhood, okay? So you want to add about 500 to 1,000 rooftops, and you want to adopt those people, and you want to mail to them monthly. I'm going to show you this card, because this is John By, who also moved and elevated himself up in price point during his time at the Corps, and he's now a coach. But when you start this, you may not have a listing in that neighborhood. So what can you send? Well, you can see here where John sent one out to Kennydale. So we can talk about average sales price, $685, homes sold, average days on the market. You can even add other details like listing to sell ratio, some different interesting statistics, what amenities tend to sell well. And he's got on here his call to action. Curious to know how much equity you've gained? Ask for a free home valuation. So you can start your farming with that 500 to 1,000 rooftops by having a card like this. Once you get a listing, you can highly leverage that by not just sending out the card, but maybe doing a pre-listing neighbors only wine and cheese. Have them come over and preview the home. Come see it. Maybe you have somebody you know that wants to be in the neighborhood. Then you have a chance to get in front of people face to face. Remember, all geographic farming and prospecting is to get you to the next step. It's to eventually get you to that face to face situation so you can make that impression with that person. So that's a great way to do it. And I want you to start by looking at 2 or 3 times your average sales price. What is it right now? You know, where are you going to go? If you're in the 200s, let's go up to 400 to 600. Do 400 to 600, 600 to 750, or $1 million. Start moving yourself up in price range, because that's how we're going to make a dynamic change in your business. All right, so John By's postcard, and now we have Julie Bettesini. So Julie, again, runs a team at Stockworth Realty, and you'll see here a different style. So now you have a listing. What do you do? Well, on the front of the listing, we've captured this beautiful photo, okay? And you need to be marketing your success. So that's why we call this an evidence of success, a postcard that goes out monthly to your newly adopted farm. And again, the whole goal of the card with a call to action. Julie's is thinking of selling or buying in this hot market. Call Julie Bettesini today, because her goal is to get that appointment. Your phone calls off your signs are to get you an appointment and get you that face-to-face. So on the right-hand side, she's going to show a glimpse of the interior of the home. You can also put a photo that is really the reason the home is so expensive. So on this one, you can see from the exterior and the construction. If it's on the lakefront or the golf front, you could add a shot of that over in the, show that in the corner. Why would somebody be paying that? And then as you grow in experience, you can add that onto your card. So for her, she's a tactical negotiator. That tells me she's going to take care of my money, my equity, getting me the most money. Last year, she sold $63 million. So these cards are always important to have great photos, call to actions. Make sure you do that, because if you don't tell people what to do, what was the point of the card? The card is there to stimulate a response, and the people that raise their hand are the people that are most serious and are a good lead for you. All right? So here we go. Let's talk about print media. So in today's world, print media is really taking a hit because of the internet and all of the online advertising that we can do. But there's some magazines out there that that's being Luxury Portfolio, DuPont, Unique Homes, some of those high-end magazines that are national. A lot of times you can call up and say, hey, give me a call when you have a great deal on a page because I want to be in it. And when you are in that page, then a lot of times you can put all of your listings online, all right? And that's a great way and another marketing tool you can use in your listing presentation. So print media, looking at a high-end magazine. You also can look at your local magazines. You need to be a good student of what's out there. I always loved the ability when a new magazine that came out that had either a luxury look or a look that was fitting the price range, I would go into it right off the bat because it would make the biggest first impression because not many people are in it. And then over the years, more people gravitate to it and you can tend to get lost. So make sure you are keeping up with the newsstands in your area and that you're taking advantage of those opportunities when you can. So you at least need to have some type of print media in your listing presentation, okay, along with your postcards that you send out, and you can also let the seller know you may be sending those out to the neighborhoods that are buying into his or her neighborhood, to that high-end neighborhood. That's another great marketing point. All right. Now, also in luxury marketing, let's go over here. We also have auctions. So sometimes properties, they can be very high-end, they can be very unique, and they're a little more challenging to sell. So if you feel that you have, and these are properties which you may want to put on the market in some markets for, you know, if it's moving quickly, even 6 months to a year because you know it's going to take a while. And if sometimes you feel that seller is kind of like starting to get concerned and why isn't it selling, a great option is for you to go to a auction company. There are several really great auction companies. I've used Concierge before to sell some of our homes, and they are folks that are just focused on luxury listings. So the longer they're in business, they have accumulated some of the best lists of the luxury buyers all over the world. So that will expose it to your client. There's different types of auctions. Just make sure you get the information so that you are up on the details and that your client is actually connecting with that company. You are the connector. You will still be involved. And the ones we were that we did, we were still involved. We got paid, but they can make a huge difference. So that's another tool in your kit of marketing properties, and that would be your luxury auction. So maybe check some of those out so you can see who's out there. Now, yes, we had an island for sale one time, and it's like, wow, how do we get that out there? So what you'll find, obviously, on the internet, there's all kinds of specialty websites. So if you're going into that presentation, you can talk about how you're going to attract the local market, right? And also how you're going to attract the market maybe nationally or internationally. So there is a site called Private Islands, and so this property was listed on Private Islands so that it could attract people from all over the country or all over the world. A lot of these are extremely affordable, but the fact is when you can present these to your clients, it's like they understand and feel comfortable that you know the luxury market. They always want to know, how are you going to find a buyer for my house? How do you know people that can buy my property? Okay. Now, this also ties into the reason we here at the Core teach you to market to corporate accounts and business people, because sometimes having CEOs or people that are involved in international companies are great ways to have these lists that you can then send the Steve Kerr format that he used for the listing presentation for the brochure on your luxury property. Great way to move it around. So all of this kind of ties in, and these are tools for you to have when you're going on a listing appointment on the high end. So islands, ocean fronts, fly-in neighborhoods, equestrians, besides your local and national, you can have some very specific websites you want to check out. Now, a great tool that so many people are still not using are luxury marketing videos, okay? The goal of the video is most people are visual, and you're not just getting the house up to them visually. You need to communicate the lifestyle. So incorporating maybe the drone, having something a little scripted to make it fun. I'm going to share with you right now, this is the property Overjoy that's located here on our Butler chain of lakes that was on the market and has sold. It sold just under $7 million, and here's one of the videos that shows you the lifestyle of Overjoy.
It's right before your eyes. You're on your way, to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the whole dream of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted. You could go and reach your heart. You know you could. Changing everywhere. Do we dream and do we dare? It's up to you. The door is open wide. Feel the rhythm of the day. Let the heart and join the play. The world is here to take you for a ride. You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the whole dream of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You can live all you ever wanted.
All right, how fun is that? Okay, so that gives you, when you watch that video, it's exciting, it's fun, and you get what it feels like to live in that house. So the fun part is, one of the couples in there was Julie's assistant and her husband. One was our stager that did all of our staging for us. So have some fun with this. And listen, if you're getting into the luxury market, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. So I don't want you sitting there going, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I don't know about, putting this together. Ladies and gentlemen, just do it, okay? Because it's going to change your business. You're going to have fun and grow as an agent. Now, networking with influential people. It's like, where do I meet these people, Rita? Well, if you're in a country club community, that's an awesome way. There's been several agents that have dominated. Even Dayton Schrader in San Antonio, our top producing real estate agent, he is very involved there. And when he shows property, he stops by the club, plays golf, get to know people. So are you really getting involved in your local country club or community? Charity events, Kendra Cook, head of our real estate division, has done an amazing job with her charities, being on boards, helping to serve. She's met some of the most influential people in Nashville, and those relationships and networking opportunities really come to help you, meeting great people. Another thing you can check in your area is the Economic Development Council. That is a group that's in many large cities, and their main job is to go out and find businesses to attract to the area. You will pay to be on that board. I think it's $1,500 in Orlando. But listen, when you pay, you've already separated yourself. You may be the only agent. Stockworth Realty Group was involved in the Economic Development Council, so we got to give tours when the research Stanford Burnham was first coming to Orlando. So you might be the one giving the tour to sell a company on moving their business to Orlando and then develop that into a relocation account. So Economic Development Council, awesome way to get involved. Also, now, in marketing these properties, sometimes it is just perfect to expose it through events. Have a broker open. These are 2 sample flyers for you to see, where you partner up with another luxury home, offer food, drawings, great for the brokers to come see, but also at the same time, you can have a little bit different one, like on the right, where they are partnering with another real estate company, but they're giving boat tours, car tours, so their focus is all on lakefronts. We've even done on a beautiful piece of property that had a couple of homes on it, but could be developed on an 18-acre site, and then we had barbecue. The owner helped cook. We gave golf cart tours on the property. We gave boat tours, and it's really fun if you want to partner up with some other local business people, like your Audi or Mercedes or any of your luxury car dealerships, because certain times of the year they want to have their cars out there so the new ones can be seen. Make it a charity event. Invite the public along with the real estate agents. You can really blow this up, and it's a lot of fun and a great way to develop your high-end marketing list. Okay. Now, you also have to become an expert. You're like, Rita, I don't know that much about the luxury. Well, you're going to start with pulling the information off MLS. See where the luxury homes are. Anytime there's a broker open, attend. Getting to learn amenities. So even call the builders and say, I've heard so many fantastic things about your homes that you built. I'd love to meet you so I can be very well versed in introducing you to my clients. Have them point out the different touches, because you need to know, what materials command more money. Is it granite? Is it marble? Is it onyx? Learning textures, learning things that are of value so you can appreciate them as you go through these high-end homes. Because many times these homes are not things you can simply price off MLS. But the more you get out there, you'll learn, what kind of wall texture, is it Venetian plaster? I will tell you, by meeting the builders and then getting involved in building my luxury leads, introducing some buyers, many of the master custom builders in Orlando referred a lot of sellers to Julie and I, meaning their clients want to sell. They go to the builder who they know and trust because they spend a lot of time with them, and he would refer them, he or she, to us. So we made that a whole nother pillar of business, referrals from builders. So you've got to get out, start learning, and getting to know the luxury market. We at the Core can coach you on how to build your luxury market. This was a quick 30-minute overview of many of the tactics that you need to have when you go on your luxury appointments. So if you would like a free consultation in your business, maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're seasoned, if you just email the Core, we will put you with a coach or a trainer, and we'll help you evaluate and answer some of your challenges about your business. So take advantage of that by emailing thecoretraining.com. Now, maybe one of your next steps is to take the 12th step. Maybe you're building your business, you're under 10 million. It's like, what do I do first? How do I build this the right way? That course takes you completely through it. And next week here in Orlando, we're having our semi-annual event for those of you closing 10 million or more. Would love to have you. We still have a few seats if you want to join us, but we have specific classes that will help you build your business, make sure it's profitable, build the team. It's all about leads. Our theme is building leads. So you want to join us if you are available. Grab one of those seats. Also, you can sign up. You can actually go online and sign up for the rest of my seminars for the rest of the year. All the titles are there. In June, because we're hot into selling season, we got to make sure you have touch points to wow your clients and deepen relationships. So be sure to sign up for June 5th. We'll be having it at 12:30. When you sign up, if you can't be here live, we will email it to you. So again, if you have any questions, send them to me. You can also, if you don't know about the Core, you want to know why, I need to know what you guys do. Why don't you check out the book that I wrote with Rick Ruby on the roadmap to a profitable $30 million business. I'm going to cover a lot of different topics. You'll have a good idea of how we train, what we teach here at the Core Training. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for Kendra Cook and myself joining us today. But take action today. You need to get out of the comfort zone, move forward, and build your luxury portfolio. This is Rita Casey. Have a fantastic Tuesday.